Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Marshall here. And I've got a 1 versus 1 for you on Black Forest, of all places. Between Imp Capoch. Those are the lovely French. The lovely Franks. Going for an early lumber camp over there. Against Top Khan. The Roos. Going straight for a dock. And gathering the fish with the bills. Getting a dock in the back pond there. Fish could be pretty strong. And a more reliable source of food and hunt than pushing out into the forest itself. Now, looking at the actual map between these players, before really delving into what their particular build is, it's a pretty direct route. It's not as labyrinthy as I've seen Black Forests. It's pretty direct. Now, already we see Capoch of the French being very, very strategic. They see killing off the livestock because the Roos players get bonuses from killing livestock, like Gaia and Hunt. They get a gold bonus for every one they kill. So he's just looking around as Top Khan for as much hunt as he can to kill off, and he's going to find a lot. All of it's down to the south here. We've got deer central and a couple of boar down there as well. Look at all of that. That is tidy gold. But the Roos on Black Forest can also build these all over the place. No, that's a house, not a hunting cabin. But they can build hunting cabins all over the place, which generate gold when they're next to trees. The more trees they're next to, the more gold they generate. So the Roos really want to capitalize on the fact that they're surrounded by wood here. Top Khan urging to scout the dock out, seeing that that's a thing. Not seeing any villagers next to it though. But Capoch has just been chilled out. You know, 5 on food, plenty on wood, of course. French villas, I believe, are cheaper generally, and their resource gather points are also a little bit cheaper in terms of wood. So they've got a pretty strong early economy, whereas the Roos actually get the resource bonuses, if you will. But Top Khan struggling a little bit for his gold. He hasn't got any hunt bonus so far this game whatsoever. We can see the income per minute is gold for 0. Because he hasn't even built a hunting cabin yet. And ideally, I wouldn't suggest scout versus villager. See, they've got these sheep which can just go straight back to the TC. These vills can get on that. I wonder whether, because I've seen a couple of Top Khan's games now, and I wonder whether I'll post it if you want to see a Mongol mirror match, which was the dumbest nonsense I've ever seen in Age of Empires 4. Oh dear, I just casted it with this guy Top Khan. It was against League of Legends is better than RTS, whoever that is. It was an absolute joke of a game, but funny regardless. Now we got loads of Lodya working ships here. 6 of them, all just going to be gathering. It's a bit overkill for those, but we'll see what his plan is. Going villager heavy on the food back there as well. Going for age 2 now. His income per minute has shot up to 100. Is that because of the Lodyas? Do they give you gold income? I'm not sure where he's getting his gold from. Oh, he must have just been mining. That's why he just put all his villas onto there, just to get up to the 200. Completely missed that. And then get the Kremlin defense right out in this forward choke point, which would be really good for him. Capoch having a look around, having a nose. Finds a little berry patch. Sees where the TC is. Doesn't want to get too super close to it. Capoch, being the Franks, The landmark, I would imagine, is going to be... I forget the name, but the one that gives you the Royal Knight straight off, that's generally what Frank players go for. It's like Royal Academy or something like that. But what I haven't told you about yet is looking at the minimap, you can see blue lines appearing. We've got walls from the Franks, rather, blocking in Top Khan. Mean and nasty plays here. Gonna stop him from scouting the rest of the map. Gonna stop him... well, this immediately blocks him off from this sacred site. Which, for the Franks, if they can rush up to the Castle Age, will be very, very good for them. Because they can go and capture that and get a steady supply of gold. There you go, School of Cavalry. That's what it was. Unit production costs reduced by 20%. And you also get the Royal Knight. Can be produced from there as well. Now there's a trading post on this map, of course, which is greatly favouring Capoch here. Literally right outside his base. And Top Khan is nowhere near it. So he shouldn't even be thinking about getting gold that way. Should just be putting up hunting lodges all over the place. Try and get it that way. In terms of his vills, he's just got 5 on there. 19 Wooderjacks. Market cap? No. He's not. A little bit housed there. It's Top Khan. Is he building anymore? I don't think he is. I think he's forgotten about that. Let's get some vills to quickly pop up a house. Yeah, he did over there. I think he's completely forgotten about the hunting cannons, or he's trying to do it without hunting cannons. This Kremlin defensive landmark is good because it provides an influence area for the lumber camp. It is in the area of influence there, look. Which means that vills going to this drop off more wood, which is potentially what this market is for. Just selling the wood. They're going for heavy barracks play, possibly lots and lots of spearmen with the food and wood production. Out comes our first Royal Knight here towards Roos. And yeah, spearmen up the wazoo coming out. Trying to defend that vill, getting that barracks up. Now 2 barracks ready. Both producing spearmen and upgrading them to hardened spearmen there. From early to hardened. Now the Royal Knights are just going to have to run away through their walls. Putting some forward archery ranges and some forward houses there. Yeah, Franks just taking space across the map. Got enough spearmen out yet to deal with these knights, but more coming in, and back they go. That's going to put them away, and more barracks coming up. The 4th one now, even rerouting his vills from his gold mines to go and do that. He needs those spearmen, and that's going to negate the Royal Knight play here from Capoch. Very heavy on fishing. And in terms of the blacksmiths, we're getting heavy investment into arrows, and we've got the forward archery ranges. So that suggests that going forward, he's just going to transition into archers to deal with these spearmen. And getting that bonus for those archers is just going to allow him to really knock down those spearmen quite effectively. Thing is, what he's then got to do is start transitioning into men-at-arms to deal with that. Even building a battering ram, look. Try and get rid of these walls and then just storm through. We don't see an age 3 going up yet. 2 stables ready. What is he building out of those? Knights, because of course the Roos have access to early knights. And that should deal with the Royal Knights quite nicely. And if not, the knights can then charge the archers while the spearmen goad them in. Just got to get a couple of those, and probably wants to hide their presence for just a little bit, as long as possible, really. In comes the spearmen and the battering ram. If they're pushing now, then the knights that will come out of here straight away will go into that. But if it was me, I'd try and hide the knights until I had a good presence and then catch them off guard. Because you don't want to give them the early sight to go into to crossbows, potentially. Interesting that we're not seeing a huge amount of trade from the Franks. It could just be an interesting gold income for them. Here we go. Outpost going up. Battering ram can't get close enough to the wall. The archers sat behind it. The knights can't get close. 2 battering rams now. The spearmen possibly just going to garrison themselves in them. 3 knights. And here we go. Knights ready for those archers. Spearmen going to give chase, and now the battering rams are on the field. They're just continually building ships. Am I missing something about these ships? I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments. Please do. But I am very confused why he's built quite so many ships there. Is it just a more efficient food gathering supply than villagers? Must be. Both players can go up into the 3rd age yet. Outposts getting ready for the Rus. Just stopping these archers from getting too close. And here we go. The early knights pushing those archers back. Taking a couple of losses. The French Royal Knights now coming out, losing 1 knight for the Rus. The French pushing in, seeing their chance. More garrisoning in the outposts. Possibly need an additional one just a little bit further forward. But walls coming up. Interesting choice. Possibly creating an artificial choke point here. But I'm not sure how this works for the Rus player, because the archers here now, if there's no gate, the archers will have free reign over the buildings to just be a nuisance more than anything else. We got over in Capoch's base there. Heavily going into food, which is a lot of that is the fish. We're moving into farms as well for the French. And finally taking the berries. 21 vills on wood. So pretty balanced there. Still no stone though. Suggests that they're not wanting a second TC yet. Top Khan. Getting up to the 3rd age. Where is it? I missed something. Why can I not see this landmark? I feel like I should be able to see this landmark. Ah, there it is. High Trade House. That's just going to spawn gradual deer for the Rus to be able to grab gold off. So that's just going to be a sort of infinite supply of food there. A deer spawns every 60 seconds, so it's not super quick and constantly reliable. Top Khan also going for a monastery now, which have mounted warrior monks who are pretty good at buffing nearby units, actually. I think they give them a bit of extra damage and armor, not only healing. So that can be a pretty potent mix at dealing with this sort of a push. What they want now on the defense is potentially a mangonel or two to just fire over the walls to stop the Franks from getting close, but Looks like the Franks are thinking, ah, there's a wall there. I'm not going to bother pushing in just yet. But I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see a siege workshop coming up. We also see Age 3 now for the Franks with their Royal Institute. Additional technologies there. Large number of Royal Knights. And now that is a big boost for Goldingham. 600 per min. And we're starting to get stone gathering as well, potentially for a second TC, potentially for a keep or two. Personally, I would imagine a second TC, possibly down on the south of map. Well-placed scout here from Capoch. Up on the hill is going to be able to see anything that comes down this way because everything is so focused on this northern section yet. That relic needs to be picked up, please. Got a monastery out and a priest coming out for Capoch as well. We can have the other sacred side. Also, a supply of gold. Yeah, so interesting that we've gone much more for damage than defense in terms of blacksmith upgrades from the Frank player. There's that second TC for Capoch. There's the second one going to go up for the Roos. That is the question. He's moved off stone, potentially just back in his base somewhere. Heavy investment into stables, though. Here we are. Some trebuchet in there. And some spring golds, which will deal a bit of extra damage to the Royal Knights, who are now veteran. In comes some battering rams against the fortified palisade gate. Knights from the Roos coming out to try and deal with the battering rams, but the gate taking a bit of damage there. Got a mangonel for the defense there, as suggested. Trebuchet coming up. That's going to maybe... Is that going to deal the damage to the units, or is that going to go for the wall up? Possibly for... Ah, yeah, for the wall behind. Will allow the Roos player to give chase. Top Khan looking to be able to extend this fight out a little bit. I think the warrior monk has already been lost for Top Khan. And the Franks are in. There's battering rams everywhere. But the knights and hardened spearmen just fighting the French back. There's the treb hit of the century, timing right there. As the walls go down, running straight into an outpost. Again, the treb will move forward and start damaging that outpost. Mangonel's pushing up as well. This could really start to look a bit ugly for Capoch here. He's got a huge amount of stone surplus. Is he going to build some forward keeps? I'm very surprised if he didn't. Problem is he's got to deal with the trebs now. Down. The Roos pushing forwards. I don't see any warrior monks in this group, so we're not going to get any bonuses from that. Mangonels are there, and it looks almost like Capoch is not prepared for a counter-attack. Was he resting on his laurels? Where are your thoughts, my friend? You have 16 villagers on stone. Am I reading that right? Is that 16? No, 13. Number's a bit dodgy. 18, in fact. But why have we not got any keeps going up to defend? As the Roos are pushing in, houses are going down, trebs are being set up. archery rangers are going down. For arbaletriers, which are supposed to do really well against the knights there. There's a warrior monk with a relic on his back, providing the buff now. Possibly even getting into the fight and doing a bit of disruption with conversion. It's a very rare strategy, that one, we'll see, but he could even just move up here to the sacred site and capture it and force Capoch to push out. But here we go, there's a keep just being rushed up as much as possible. The Treb, though, will be able to damage it from a distance. The thing is, Capoch here, though, has to push out and do something. But his unit count, his army count here, let's just have a look at that. His military is down to 21, whereas Top Khan's military is just so high now, 60 to 21. And I don't think Capoch can do anything about this. Oh, conversion! Conversion circle! Missed its target. Have to wait a little bit now. 2-minute cooldown. Treb disappears. Keep there, the battering rams under it, moving around the back for whatever reason, I don't know why, towards the Vils, making little sense. Here we go. Sacred site being decapped and possibly recapped there afterwards. Sprinkles will be very, very good against these Royal Knights though. Especially once you get more than 3, they really start to do a lot of damage. Vils now trying to push out and set up a forward keep that forces a response from Top Khan. He's going to go and try and get those villagers out, but Capoch is there to answer him. He's got a mangonel in close range. That's going to go down very, very quickly indeed if it gets caught out of position. Having to retreat and give an attack move again as Top Khan comes in and gets rid of it. Possible conversion circle here. Still got another minute on the countdown though. But the amount of buff that warrior monk, he'll go down here, but he did a lot to help this push. Villagers that were building that keep are no more. Have we got any reinforcements to deal with that? We've just got more mangonels coming off in the back there. Just going to deal with that keep. Building another in the center of the base, but again, the thing with Capoch is he just doesn't have the military production right now. Let's have a look at his actual current resources. He's struggling for food so much, and that's why he's not getting units out. He just doesn't have the food income. You can see from all of the farms that he's really trying to bolster that. Look at these panic farms. He's like, I'm starving. I need food. So many villagers just getting on farms. All of his original miners having mined out and built his keeps, transitioned straight to farms. The resources gone into that keep will disappear. Looks like it was deleted though, fortunately. So Capoch managed to get those resources back. But now his food income is astronomical, up to 2,000. All of a sudden he's got units coming onto the field. Arbaletriers there to deal with the knights from the Rus. The Springolds though, I think they might even have the additional range upgrade there for those Springolds. Where is the Siege Workshop? This is one of the things I really wish that Age 4 had a better building recognition, because I don't recognise any of these. Siege Workshop's there. Doesn't look like Springgold weapon range has been increased at all. There goes Sacred Site getting captured. Or not. Yes, it is. By Top Khan. Down it goes, the 10-minute countdown begins. Capoch now forced to either deal with this army or send a couple of dudes round to the other side there trying to neutralise. got to neutralise those, but, you know, this is a potential avenue of just pushing in. I don't know how he'd do it without then losing his base, though. This is a strange front of the battlefield here. Mangonel's coming into the foreground, setting up, going to try and deal with that. Look at that. Oh! Oh! Conversion circle! Conversion circle! And the warrior monk goes down and got focused down by those armoured but that was close. That must have been very, very close indeed, but you saw the, what's it called? Formation being used to spread out those units. The moment he saw the mangonels set up, Capoch spread out his units into that formation to reduce the efficacy of those mangonels. But so many Springolds now from Top Khan as the Rus will just absolutely waste any Royal Knights that come his way. Capoch now trying to field his own Springolds to try and deal with it. To try and focus down those Mangonels and Springolds. I don't think it's going to happen again. Let's have a look at the army counts there. Top Khan 52, Capoch on 6. He's got a couple of Arbaletriers in the TC. He's got a few Royal Knights and a Springold. It's over. It must be. The amount that this warrior monk has done for Top Khan to really help with these pushes is, you know, it's just, I have no other words for it other than it's just paying for itself in a really, really big way. Down goes a TC. I'd be surprised if we don't start seeing Trebs come in. But then again, at this point, it's just whittling down and capitalising on the fact that he's already so far ahead. Again, let's have a look at the current resources there. Top Khan spending so much, but Capoch is floating because he just can't get units out fast enough. He doesn't have the production buildings anymore. They were all on the front lines and they've all been killed off. We've got a couple of stables, but they were right in the middle of the fight for so long that the moment any units came out, they just got insta-gibbed. And annoyingly, I can't see the countdown on this sacred site as an observer. In fact, I should be able to. Here we go. Sacred tracker. No, that just tells me how many you've got. Oh, this observer mode, please. Give me the tools of my trade. I need them. It's just trying to get so many stables up. Villagers just got completely railed by crossbolts from those Springolds. But the stables keep going up. Royal Knights keep coming out. The thing is, Royal Knights against Springolds, not ideal. Outpost wall coming up from the Rus as well to prevent this sacred site getting recaptured. It must be getting close now. Just spawns a unit, runs it away. Military now 24 to 59. Closing the gap a little bit, but it just can't get close. The warrior monk in there, giving the extra damage. What is this? A revolutionary. What a Vil. What a Vil. Hero Vil for the Rus. Almost a bit of BM there, you'd be forgiven for thinking. Capoch really struggling to find a way back here. Arbolatriers up the yin-yang. Horsemen coming out because that should just be able to run into the Springles. The thing is, sat behind this trading post with all of this and a tread now, that's one hell of a choke point artificially created by this trade post, which these horsemen get completely negated by because they're melee and they've just got to run in probably about 2 horsemen wide there. So they'd just be completely negated. You need some kind of other siege to be able to deal with this, but again, the number of Springles will just negate that completely as well. It's like a death ball here from the Rus. Capoch running out of gold now, so he's going to have to start responding to trash units, resorting to trash units rather. Horsemen and spears are going to be the way to go. Here we go, using formations again to try and get rid of that. For some reason they've got a couple of Springolds here to try and deal with stuff. Mangonels and Springolds going down left, right and centre. But the unit count for Khan is just too great. Horsemen attempting to come in and deal damage to men-at-arms, but they're too heavy armoured for the horsemen to really deal any great damage. Springles caught out in the front lines. Capoch's military kept at a low number again. And there's the game. The Rus, Top Khan, did not buckle under the pressure of the Frankish early game, where the forward walls were produced. Instead hunkered down, adapted, and pushed out with impeccable timing as that wall went down. I reckon that would have taken Capoch by surprise. But anyway, folks, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to be putting out loads more Age of Empires casts, not only 1v1s, but also I'm going to branch out into team games as well. I don't see many other casters doing that. Please give me some feedback in the comments below. And of course, I'm still learning the game. Any tips or things that I've missed or things that I haven't been aware of, please let me know. And of course, all the engagement of liking and sharing and all that goes without saying. I'm not going to ask you to do it, but I already have. Haha! But anyway, that's all from me, folks. I've been Marshall. As always, have a good one.